Let's try something new on this channel. Let's take a look at one of my races. So I'm just going to preface this right away with saying that I am very much an amateur, and these are not the quickest lines how to get around this place. But it was very exciting for me, actually. This one specifically. This is lightweight supersport on June 10th, 2023. It's a pretty sparse field. It looks like there's 4 experts, and there are 3 of us in amateur. So by virtue of qualifying times, I put myself on pole. I have no idea how to launch a motorcycle, so I will immediately relinquish pole on actually all 3 of the races that I entered. But this one I thought is actually a pretty good one to learn from because there's a ton I can learn from it, and I actually led some laps in this race, so let's get to it. And we're off. All right. I'm going to call them red leathers and white leathers. So those are the 2 that I'm racing. Red leather right in front of me. White leather got past him. Red leathers I know is 1 to 1.5 seconds faster pace than me. Outright race pace at this track. We both did our learning curves together, and that's just what I've been able to see from her. White leathers I know is a lot faster than me. He's probably going to be faster than both of us once he figures this place out. However, this is his first time at this track, so if I'm ever gonna beat him, better be today. He was about 10 seconds quicker than me when I went out to Pittsburgh. So right now I think that red leathers, if these 2 can just keep mixing it up, that's gonna be better for me. I will be able to stick with him. I already showed that I have pace to stick with him at least to this point in the day. I do have a major issue, and this just has to do with inexperience in racecraft. When I'm following somebody, I have a major tendency to run wide. I let off too early, and that's a little bit of fear in my own sense of mortality in not wanting to collide with somebody until I get a little bit more comfortable with it. But I mean, even over the course of the day, I got more comfortable with it. I should mention the quickest lap I ever had at this place was a 1:24.5 last year. And my goal for this weekend was to just make it out of the weekend upright, and then lap time I wanted to get in the 122s. So qualifying I hit a 123.5. This race I'll end up hitting a 122.07, so almost a 121. So long as I can make it out of this weekend, I already hit my goals. I'll talk about some of my lines a little bit later. There'll be a dead period in this 7-lap race. Just want to let you, well, you can watch me blow turn 3 right there, but the battle between these 2 is actually very exciting. So make note of that one there. The white leathers will make that mistake. I've already seen him make that mistake several times, so I know that this is his first time here. He's blown turn 6 a couple times, and he's actually gotten a little bit squirrely in 5 as well. Now my issue with this is that the red leathers, I feel like once he gets past, he's going to be able to gap us by a second each lap. But apparently I'm wrong, because there goes white. Red's gotten past him. As I thought might happen, this is where we're going to start to see a little bit of a gap. And then something kind of shitty happens. So right there, red leathers went off in 6A. I talked to him after the race. I kind of know what happened, but it's his story to tell. So if you want to ask him, you can ask him. But now it's just the two of us in this race. And I know that I can match this guy in pace. At least for now. He's going to get faster every single lap as he learns this course. So I want to get around him. Or at the very least, I want to keep up with him because I'm going to learn something from this. But he's just pulling a big-ass gap on me there. I do want to say, if you're wondering why I'm not clutchless upshifting, there's an issue with this bike. I was at Road America for 2 days. It literally won't clutchless upshift. And I was talking to Mr. Med himself actually earlier on the phone today. There's likely something bent internally that's going to result in split cases, which I'm not doing during the middle of the season. So I'm probably just going to suffer with this for the year. But alright, so I know I'm faster from here at least through 6. So I want to make as much time up as possible while he runs away from the rest of it. And then something really weird happens here. He's super slow. And he's looking at me. Like he's asking me to go around him. So right now I'm leading for the first time ever. I didn't see anything wrong with his bike. He ran wide, but there's no reason he should have just pulled over for me. So what I should do as somebody that's racing is look behind me. I don't know how to look behind me. I've never practiced that on a race bike before. I don't know if he's right behind me. I assume he's right behind me. In fact, I assume because he's blown that turn a couple times, he actually wants to follow me just to see where he can get around me. But I don't know that for a fact. And I don't know how to look behind me. I guess that's something I'm going to have to start practicing in practice, because I actually think it could have made the difference in this race. So I'm going to go around for a couple laps here. Actually, maybe this is one where we can talk about how shitty some of my lines are. But they're getting better, honestly. I mean, I look at what my lines looked like even just last year. They weren't, as I blow through another turn 3. Even if I look at what they were last year, they're better now. It's always really tough to watch your own footage back, and I think this is why so few people actually want to post their race footage, because it's such a humbling thing to look at it. Because when you're out there, you feel like, your hair's on fire and you're on top of the world, and you see like, who's this fucking idiot that doesn't even know how to ride a motorcycle? That's what I feel like when I'm looking at this right now. I know what it should look like. Should mention, actually, I'd actually never dragged my right knee in my life before the first practice. I always thought it was because I just wasn't flexible, but no, it was because my fear of turning right was actually just that strong. And I just didn't know how to get over onto the right. And once I did it a couple times, I was like, oh, you can go that fast in a right-handed turn? And now I'm scraping the shit out of my bodywork. So that's actually really fun. It's one of those things where I'm knocking off like seconds during each time I go off now, so it's why I don't want to get too critical on myself and get down on myself from this, even though it's very obvious that, I mean, the experts are running 6 seconds a lap faster on the same bike. I find the closer you run to the curbing, obviously closer to the apex, but the closer you run to it in 5, that bump is less, jarring, which it sounds obvious to run as close as possible, but when it, god damn it. So that's where my first major misshift was, where in the money part of the track for me, that's where I want to put as much time as possible, and I literally can't shift it up. I'm pulling my muscles trying to shift up the fucking shifter, and it won't come up, and I'll miss another one right here. It just won't shift. That one didn't hurt me as much as the one out of 6A did. So I don't feel like I got a terrible turn out of 1 here, but it wasn't great, and you'll see I'm not using the whole track, which is giving me lower speed than I need to have coming out of there, and I didn't see this one coming. I didn't see him coming around me right there. It didn't look like much on the video, but I damn near shit my pants when he went around me, and I damn near went into the grass. So this race isn't over yet, because I still feel like I can actually get around him. if I can get up next to him on his right into 6, I know he's been overrunning that thing. I know he's going to be hot because of how this just went. If I can get next to him, I can force his hand into not making that turn as quickly as I want to. And here we go. I still feel like I should have hammered it. And then I followed him wide because I don't know any better. And then I lift a little bit here because I'm watching him out, and it's 3 times I fucked that up in that corner. It was 3 times I had an opportunity to get next to him and force it. That's one of those I'm gonna have to learn from it. I mean, I know we're not talking expert level. We're talking me with very little race experience, but it was frickin' exciting. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, so being able to drop 2.5 seconds off my previous time was pretty neat. So that's how it ended up there. I finished with a 122.071, which, I mean, it made my goal of hitting the 122s. Obviously, I've got a new goal now, and I learned a whole lot. I can see how many spots that I have to improve. There's literal seconds that I can just drop off next time. I'm going to work on getting into the 121s next time. Then the next time I'll get into the 120s. That's the plan. If I can get into the 120s this year, I feel like I can be competitive on most of these grids, and that's what I want, because I've learned that this is the most exciting thing that you can do, at least that I'm legally able to do and sign up for. I don't know, maybe I could buy a skateboard and jump off a house or something, but I mean, this I feel like is very fun. So, you watch this far. Thanks for watching.